I decided to build assassins in this game because I love playing stealth, and here's my take on the toxic assassin build. When it comes to metal phase and poison status effect, the best thing about it is that as long as it's active, any other status effect is gonna be permanent. That's why I went for the grey set of Lingbao Tianzong, the pure one, because it grants me damage boost when status effects are active up to a maximum of 3. And I'm using once again the Assassin's armor set, left alone the Warlock mask, just because it comes with a set bonus requirement of mitigation. I'm using the Podao as my main weapon because it scales A+ on metal and A- on water. Then I'm using the Tiger Hunting Bow. That is a bow that scales A+ on metal and B on water, and everything else is just to equip something for the Lingbao Grace, just to make sure to have the bonus set. My go-to perks on this build are Toxin Attack Power, Morale Rank Points Gain, Poison Accumulation on Enemies, Fatal Strike Damage, Wizardry Spell Spirit Consumption, and Stealth. Pretty much you just put these perks on every piece of your gear, and the accessories as well. Make sure you have at least a couple of useful perks on each of the accessories. The Divine Beast I went for is Tengzhe, because it gives you a damage boost on enemies with negative effects, boosts up your status effect accumulation, the wizardry spell damage, and applies also power drop on enemies that are hit by wizardry spells. Speaking about the spells, I chose Life Wither. It is a bolt, and enemies hit will receive more damage for a certain period of time. Keep in mind that as long as the poison is active, the status effect is permanent. Then Venom Snare, of course, everybody knows Venom Snare. Poisonous Fog deals decent damage, its damage over time, always useful. And Venomous Discharge, similar to Venom Snare, but it's just an AoE attack with poisonous bubbles. And Unseeable Form, just to take full advantage of the stealth mechanics. You may also wanna keep Thorny Ground instead of the Venomous Discharge, just to give your enemy an additional status effect of slow. And once you reach the boss, you wanna switch from Unseeable Form to Molten Calamity Thorn. This is a very powerful spell because deals damage based on the number of different status effects active on your enemy, and stacks up with Grace of Lingbao as well, and also resets the status effects. So basically you can just shred a big chunk of your enemy's health and start cycling over with the poison and with Life Wither and every other spell that you have equipped. With this build you don't deal as much damage on assassination as the other one, because you don't have amplified damage, and also your stealth attribute is a bit lower, but I guess it's a good trade-off to get all the nice venom spells, and it's also more viable against bosses, and I'll show you some clips also fighting bosses in this game. I reckon this build is Not as specialized as the other one, but is more fun, more viable against the bosses, and overall it feels more balanced. I'm having a lot of fun with this build in PvP as well, because everybody knows the metal phase is kinda broken in this game, especially the fact that every status effect is gonna be permanent as long as you have the poison active. It's working pretty good, and I strongly suggest you give it a try.